Belly fat can be really uncomfortable. The bloating, the clothes not fitting, the suits not fitting, and when you take your clothes off, you might not be happy about what you see. So in this video, if you've been training and you've been trying to get rid of belly fat, but you're having a hard time, it's just not happening for whatever reason. I'm gonna share with you what that reason is. I'm gonna talk to you about how to fix that issue today. I'm gonna share with you the critical things you need to focus on because most trainers will talk about weight loss, but they're not telling you how to have fat loss. This belly right here, what do we call it? Belly fat. I'm gonna show you what steps you need to take to get rid of it. Okay. And so with that said, one of the first things that I see that people get wrong is they're focusing on just eating healthy. And eating healthy is important. I typically see people drinking, these fruit smoothies or eating these salads, and they're like, "Man, I don't know what it is. I'm eating healthy. The stomach's still not going down. I feel like I'm doing everything right." And you got to realize that eating healthy is not the same as eating for fat loss. Okay, there's plenty of people who eat healthy. We see the vegans, the vegetarians, uh, and people who are just like eating healthy all the time, the salads and the smoothie folks, but they're still overweight. And one might think, like, how is that even possible? I thought all they need to do is just eat healthy. But it's more to it than that. Because if you have no idea what portions you need to eat, you're not going to lose weight. You could be overeating on healthy food and getting bigger. Your stomach get bigger. You develop man boobs. You develop, the cellulite on your legs and all these type of things. Okay, and gain so much weight to the point where you can have health concerns. Isn't that crazy? Like a person could be eating healthy all the time, gain a ton of weight, and that weight causes stress to manifest inside of our body, which can cause high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, sleep apnea, because of the weight. Okay. So it's very important to have both sides of it down, the quality of foods you eat, but also the quantity, like how much. Okay. Um, I know sometimes a lot of people who reach out to me, they're like, man, I just didn't grow up that way. And I get it because I didn't either. Like I grew up, eating soul food all the time. Smothered pork chops. Y'all heard my countryness just then. Smothered pork chops, uh, mac and cheese, cornbread, green beans, pound cake. What else? Lemonade. Man, I used to eat it and drink all of it. You know, and I seen a lot of people in my family who did too, and they end up developing health concerns like type 2 diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure. Folks in my family were having strokes. Like it was one person in my family had a stroke because he had high blood pressure, and he never spoke again after he had that stroke. Like never heard another word come out of his mouth. And so, if you're dealing with these things, whether it be high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, sleep apnea, guys, just because you may have been prescribed medication, it doesn't mean the medication is fixing the issue. You fix the issue. And any professional, physician will tell you this if you ask them. You change your lifestyle and you can fix the issues. Okay. Otherwise, the medication, you just have to, it's just managing it. It's not solving it. This is why people take medication for years, decades. And in some cases, they end up having to take more medication because they haven't fixed their lifestyle. They've gained more weight. Okay. And so I say all this to say that's where I started. I started by eating soul food. Towards my late teens, I got into doing in-person training out here in Buckhead, Atlanta, trained the Buckhead Betties of Atlanta. And as I was training people, I started developing clientele, and I was training, but my clients just wasn't transforming the way I felt like they should have. And at that time, being an in-person trainer, I just didn't know anything about nutrition like that. And so if you're working out and you feel like you're getting stronger, belly fat not going down, that's why. If you had trainers in the past, in-person trainers in the past, and they trained you, gave you some good workouts, but you really didn't lose the weight that you wanted to lose, that's why. You can't outwork poor nutrition habits. You can have the best workout routine in the world, but if you're not going to eat properly, the nutrition is what helps the fat loss, not the training. The training just kind of like it helps you build muscle, it can help you raise your metabolism, But even if you have a raised metabolism from training and building muscle, if you're still not eating properly, you ain't gonna lose the weight. You're not gonna lose it. You're not gonna lose the belly fat. Just you go feel the abs, but you won't be able to see them. You know. And so, after a couple of years, I, grew my my clientele when I was doing in person, and it got to the point where I had to hire trainers to work with me to help train my clients. And I just noticed that we were hitting some resistance. Like my clients just weren't getting the type of transformations I wanted them to get back then. And it made me step on stage to do bodybuilding to figure out like how in the world do I help my clients get shredded, like get lean, you know? And I had already gone to Georgia State University, studied exercise science, studied nutrition, but it just wasn't like real life application. It was just book smart, you know? And so that's what made me do the bodybuilding thing. And I developed structure. I was eating the 5, 6, 7 meals a day. And I got more shredded than I ever had ever been in my life. But the issue was that structure taught me that structure does help you get results, but it wasn't the right structure that fit the way I want to live my life. I didn't like that I couldn't drink alcohol every now and then. I didn't like that I couldn't eat, burgers and pancakes if I wanted to. It was just like it was way super restrictive. And I didn't care for it because I knew I couldn't sustain it. And so now what I do is we do something called flexible nutrition, where we still have structure, but we're able to eat the foods we prefer to eat. All right. If you've ever done a diet and you're like, man, I can't eat the foods I want to eat, man. Ugh, I'm tired of eating this, man. And then you fall off. Or have you ever done any type of diet plan? Be carnivore, keto, whatever it is, and you just like, man, I can't stick with this. That's why it's not flexible to where it fits your preferences and your goals. It should support both. Okay. Glad you guys are finding it helpful. All right, I see y'all down there. Appreciate the shout out. Other than that, that's the first thing. You can't outwork poor nutrition habits, and eating healthy does not mean the same thing as eating for fat loss. You have to eat for fat loss, and you can still eat quality food to make sure you're healthy. All right. So that's the first thing. Second thing that I don't see any trainers talk about is stress management. Because as much as people say, yeah, just eat less and move more, what about the hormones that are going on inside our body? How do people develop type 2 diabetes? People develop type 2 diabetes because of hormones, insulin. Okay? If you notice that your testosterone is dropping, aka your libido is dropping, right? Your energy level is always low. You're feeling sluggish. You're having a hard time building muscle, burning fat. Stress, stress. All right. Stress can unalive people. All right. Stress can cause heart attacks and strokes. All right? Imagine having high blood pressure and being stressed. Ooh, it's like a ticking time bomb, man. Can't live like that. And so, what you have to do is you have to develop stress management routines in your life. Okay, because when your stress is high, we have a hormone called cortisol in our body. Okay, and when we're stressed, cortisol increases, making it hard to build muscle, hard to burn fat, and this is how a lot of guys develop a lot of belly fat and even man boobs. Okay, and so super important. Even women go through a lot of stress and struggle as well. Hormonal belly fat from cortisol, high stress lifestyle. And so, very important that you manage your stress with simple things, guys. Simple things that a lot of people overlook. Ask yourself, how many hours of sleep do you get a night? If you're getting anything less than 6 and you're waking up tired, sluggish, feeling mentally and physically exhausted, that's gonna be you working against yourself. You got to make sure you're getting at least 6 to 8 hours of sleep, at least 6. Okay. That way, you're not having the cravings, the sugar cravings, the salt cravings. A lot of times, when people are having these food cravings, not only is it habit of eating the foods, they're deficient in something, they're deprived. So, you may be deprived of sleep, you may be deprived of water, meaning dehydration. And so, you need to be drinking water on a daily basis. Okay. You may be deprived of movement. If you live a very sedentary life, you have a demanding career. I help a lot of people who have, they're attorneys and doctors and nurses and real estate investors, and there's not a whole lot of moving around. And so they're sedentary. And sedentary is like the modern day smoking. A lot of people develop things like heart disease from being sedentary. And so, very important that you move, exercise, not just for vanity and looks. Yes, it's important. We all know looks is important. Like it is. If you don't think looks are important, you're kidding yourself. Like when people are considering, having a partner or make a life partner, you're looking at how you look before you say a word. You know, even in business, in professional life, people look at how you look and they judge you. I'm not here to say if it's right or wrong, but that's what people do. Just like subconsciously, does this person look like they're disciplined? Does this person look like they're a leader? You know, uh, I heard something about I can't remember, it was like a guys who like people these guys who would like kidnap kids and stuff like that or whatever, and they said the people, the families that they would pick and choose from, who they would try to kidnap the kid, it would be the families that had the dad that looked really weak or an absent dad. And so it's important, y'all. People paying attention. All right. They pay attention to how you look. So you got to get out of your bubble and start to realize, like, I got to take care of not just my health, but my image. Okay. And so uh that's the second thing. Managing your stress and looking your best for your professional life, for the safety of your family. And you want to walk around and feel confident and proud about how you're looking, right? All right. So your image. And then the last thing is a lot of people will say things like, "Oh, I just don't have the time. Oh man, it's just gonna require too much effort, man. I just don't have it in me right now. Life is really busy. My work is busy. I'm traveling or whatever the case is." And to that, I say it's not a matter of like having more time or even putting in like crazy amounts of effort in the gym. It's more about having the right structure and the right strategy to get the results you want. Like most people, they're out here trying to lose belly fat and build a body that they're proud of, but it's like they have the ingredients for the cake, but not the recipe. And so it's gonna take way longer. It's like trying to build a house without having the architecture all laid out into a blueprint. Just gonna take longer. And it is gonna take way more effort if you don't have structure and you don't have the right strategy that fits your goals, your lifestyle, your food preferences. How many days a week can you train in the gym? Not John at the gym who can train 7 days a week for 2, 3 hours. You. What if you can only do 3 days or 4 days? You need something that fits your life. What if you don't want to eat 6, 7 meals like a bodybuilder every day? What if you rather eat 2 or 3? You know, you got to have something that fits your life. And then I see a lot of people who they see all these fitness influencers. Ooh, I use that word sparingly. uh, and they'll see what that influencer is eating. They'll see somebody doing a watermelon diet. And oh, what they doing watermelon? They look at it, they in shape. Let me do what they doing. No, you need to do what aligns with where you want to go. How do you want to look? Your health, your schedule. And that's how you get results and keep them. Otherwise, if you're just trying things, just jumping from thing to thing to thing, keto diet, then a carnivore diet, then a fasting diet, then a detox diet, then a bodybuilding workout. It's like, man, what are you doing to your subconscious mind? It's like, dude, when do you go get it together? When can we like get to where we want to be at and stay there? But you got to have a plan that aligns with where you want to go. Like, if you want to drop 30, 40, 50 pounds, whatever it is to get rid of belly fat, how does that version of yourself show up on a daily basis? Are they winging it or do they have a game plan? Do they know exactly what steps they need to take when they hit the gym? Are they just working out or are they training? Are they just eating healthy or do they have structure? These are critical if you want to lose belly fat and keep it off. All right. Other than that, guys, hopefully y'all found this helpful. If you have questions, you could drop them down in the comments below. Um, what else? And then also, If you feel like you like some help, you want some structure, you're tired of feeling like you're winging it, wasting your time, I'll drop a link down in the description below. That way, you can learn more about coaching and working with me. All right. Other than that, guys, we out of here. Let's get it. Peace.